All right, the Exynos versus Snapdragon debate? Yeah, it's finally getting interesting. Now that the Samsung Galaxy S26 series is official, we finally have real numbers comparing the Exynos 2600 and the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. And guess what? Samsung's new 2nm chip is not a total win, but it's not a total loss either. Let's break this down in simple terms. First, CPU performance. That's basically how fast your phone thinks. Opening apps, scrolling, loading stuff, everyday speed. In Geekbench 6 single-core test, Exynos 2600 scored 3105, Snapdragon scored 3670. That's about 18% faster on Snapdragon. That's not small. In multi-core, which is like multitasking power, Exynos 10444, Snapdragon 10981. Snapdragon still wins, around 5% faster. So yeah, when it comes to raw CPU power, Snapdragon is clearly ahead. Now here's where things get spicy. GPU performance, gaming, graphics, heavy visuals. Samsung's Exynos 2600 uses the Xclipse 960 GPU built on a custom version of RDNA 4 from AMD. And in OpenCL graphics test, Exynos 24240, Snapdragon 24152. Exynos actually wins here. Not by a huge amount, but still, a win is a win. So what does that mean? If these numbers translate well to real life, Exynos might actually handle graphics and gaming really well this year, maybe even better in some cases. But wait, there's something important to understand. Geekbench only runs for a short time. It's like a quick sprint. It doesn't tell us how the phone performs after 20 minutes of gaming or heavy use. And this is where Samsung added something interesting. The Exynos 2600 has something called heat pass block, basically a copper layer sitting directly on top of the chip to move heat away faster. That sounds small, but heat control is everything, because a chip can be powerful on paper, but if it overheats, it slows down. If Samsung's cooling works well, Exynos might keep its performance longer during gaming or video editing. So here's the simple summary. Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, stronger CPU, faster overall processing, wins clearly in single-core. Exynos 2600, slightly better GPU in OpenCL, new 2nm tech, better cooling design on paper. Now, the big question is, does that 18% CPU gap matter in real life? Honestly, most normal users won't feel 18% in daily use. Both chips are crazy fast already. But gamers and power users, they might care more about sustained performance and graphics. And that's why I'm not picking a winner yet. Because benchmarks are numbers. Real life is different. We still need long gaming tests, battery drain comparison, heat comparison, real-world speed tests. Right now, Snapdragon wins in raw CPU power. Exynos fights back with GPU and cooling. And this is the first time in a while that Exynos doesn't look completely behind. That alone makes this interesting. Now, tell me, if you're buying the Galaxy S26 Ultra, would you rather have stronger CPU power or slightly better graphics with new cooling tech? Because this year, the gap isn't as simple as before.